about access of youth-friendly services, sex education, building the emotional, physical and intellectual health of youth, and advocating for government policies to strengthen youth capacities. Only on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
هل انت شاب وبتفتش عن برنامج تعليمي؟ زون 72 برنامج خاص لك انت، بيتم فيه مناقشة كتير من المواضيع اللي بخصك، وفيه انت ممكن كمان تعبر عن رأيك وتتواصل مع شباب بنفس تفكيرك. زون 72 بيجيكم في كل يوم السبت من الساعة 4 مساء للساعة 5 مساء على الهواء وعلى الإنترنت، فقط على أي راديو. عينك على جنوب السودان.
Good evening, listener of iRadio. Welcome to Zone 72 Youth Program, which comes to you every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. I am your host, Madrama James, sitting in for my colleague, Baria Johnson. And with me in the studio is our sign language interpreter, Grace Anoviko. Zone 72 highlights the rights and choices for all adolescents and youth, and it emphasizes on the three-pillared global strategy for adolescents and youth, putting young people at the center of sustainable development. Zone 72 Youth Program is in collaboration with the South Sudan Ministry of Health, South Sudan Nurses and Midwives Association, Shabab Le Shabab, Canadian Association of Midwives, and UNFPA. Zone 72 is made possible with support from Global Affairs Canada. To participate, call us on 091122 986 986. Send for us a text message on 0913 986 986. You can also stream this broadcast live by logging to our website at www.iradio.org or visit our Facebook page, iRadio. If you have a question on that's about adolescent health, send for us an email to that's youthzone72@gmail.com or call that's 0922 009 Hotline for GBV 623. Adolescents Health Immediate 885. Today we shall be talking about that interview preparation and job application. Having the right skills, knowledge and qualification is important, but it's not enough. To secure your dream job, you must also know how to package your CV, aced interviews and present yourself professionally. To help us understand, I'm joined live in the studio by that's Noel Kaiga, who is Executive Director of his space, and he will be revealing what top management looks for when hiring a new person. And ideally, we are supposed to have that Esther Martin, HR professional with the 6 years of experience, sharing insider tips from that recruiter site. But unfortunately, she couldn't really make it right here. Welcome so much. Welcome to the show. That's Noel, and good to have you this evening.
Yes, thank you very much. Like you said, my name is Noel Kaiga Joseph. I am the Executive Director for SPACE. SPACE is a national organization that has been established since 2008. It has offered professional services to the people of South Sudan for at least more than 10 years. We provide services across governance and human rights, and then we have humanitarian programming, public health, conflict resolution, and peace building across the globe. And right now we literally employ more than 20 young people across our 3 offices in Western Equatoria, that is in Yambio and in Yei, Central Equatoria, and in Juba, Central Equatoria. So currently we run programs like we have sexual reproductive health rights campaign that is taking place in Yambio, is taking more than 5 staff, and we have a land and resource management project supported by NPA that is run in Yei and Morobo. Particularly for now we are in Yei, and we also have like more than 5 staff currently we have like more than 25 staff.
All right.
So, which is a very good gauge of what our discussion could be like today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, from the start of this show, we are meant to understand that having right skills, knowledge, and qualification is not really enough. Now, as the executive director of that space, what are other key things you would usually look for during recruitment and to any other applicants?
Yeah, I thank you very much. The first communication in the, of course, for us, there is the call initiation of a call for a personnel. We call them call for resource. So that one always comes as need-based. It will either start at the project level or it is start at the program level, depending on where the needs are coming from. So meaning that if you want to position yourself as being one of the potential candidates for any job advert, then you need to understand what is the requirement. What does the call mean? What are the details that they needed? So this takes us to, like, in most cases we rush. I might be someone who knows governance. I can do trainings on governance. I have many of them I can do, like on workshops and other things. But like if you look at the evolution of today's technology, we might need to be doing a digital democracy. Much as we know how to do workshops and conference seminars, it will not be that. You may just rush by hearing this, someone who will be like in the governance program, you rush there, but you did not really exactly understand the details. The details might mean they need someone with digital skills in democracy, digital skills in how to run this program, like online, say like virtual engagements, like we have like box chat, the creation of those things. We may need someone with a high technology, but in the same field of governance, which you would know you are an expert, but now it has changed. So we are using now technology. So you need to read to understand what exactly the people want. Say, for example, we say like, let me say, the simple example is awareness raising. We want someone to come to do promotion, say hygiene promotion. But then we know ours that you do through like you go village to village talking, but it has already changed. They need someone to do it digitally. So that is why when we ask that the potential applicant, when we say you read and understand the call, that is what exactly what we mean, so that you become a suitable candidate for the job. Yeah. For now, that's what I will say. And then I put in your CV. CV is the first communication. Actually, your cover letter is the first communication in the CV. So after reading that, you have to ensure that you align your CV to the requirements. And then doing that, you must also be sure of yourself. Be sure of what you're trying to do, because people use IR. People use many. They may use experts to align their CV to the call for applications. So it may appear in the interview list that you qualify, but at the end of the day, you don't know even what you put in your CV. The person who puts in the CV is what he knows better than you, the owner. So when you go there, you're not able to defend yourself. So that means, first of all, you need to understand the call for proposal, and then you need to align your CV so that when you're writing your application, you already write what you know, because the language matters. If you write what you know, we'll even know that what you're writing is what you know. So those are things that I may give for now, but we will continue engaging and discussing.
Yes, you mentioned something very important about alignment. Despite this advance in technology, that's the AI,
yes,
you can go and get, of course, already prepared CV, but
yes,
that alone, aligning it to what the job really demands from you can be difficult. Now, what are some of the common mistakes young job seekers make when applying for jobs, and how can they improve on it?
Yeah, thank you very much. There are things that we consider in the selection process. Like, you have already submitted your document. Now we are going through your document. Say the prescription is we need a plumber to come and do service for us, and you're giving us a recommendation of a civic educator. We need a plumber. So you're giving us a recommendation of civic educators. So where is the connection here? That means if you are applying for that person, you must make sure that all the corresponding documents must really lead you there. So you must not be applying like, I want to do like, say, governance program, and then your recommendations are coming, someone who had been working in a health. So it doesn't, that is what is a common thing some people always say like that. So we get them a lot in the selection criteria. We meet a lot of things that are messing up like that. So if you want to succeed, even if your write-ups are not that we wanted, but if your documentations are very clear, we understand. There are those who can talk about themselves better than when they write. And there are those may write better than when they talk about themselves. So there are two contradicting things that always affect the selection processes. So make them all align, whether they need it talking or they need a documentation. Let it be one. So read it, and if you're applying, select the most appropriate document that are needed. Of course, they will ask for requirements. Some they will say, we need your national ID. Some people will go and give us their SPLM card, or they give us party card. But ours, we say we need an ID. So these are some of the things that are sometimes these are mistakes that we find that may disqualify one automatically. Yeah.
Now, I equally made some research on the education setup of South Sudan, but I realize those who are either doing sciences or arts, they equally face, some of the same challenges when it comes to that demand skills. Now, what are the most in-demand skills and profession currently in South Sudan jobs market?
Yeah, thank you very much. Right now, let us agree that the funding crisis has given actually more squeezed opportunities for young people. So then we cannot necessarily mention which kind of skills are needed, but I will say let us keenly follow what if you're looking for an opportunity, what it is all about. That will help you. And then there is what we call human capital. The people you engage with, the kind of people you meet, the interactions and the kind of people you meet. You make sure you build a people that can build you up also, that along also your line of profession. You cannot be you can be a health profession and you are very much related to people who are doing a different thing. You will not get a chance. So that means let us align ourselves based on our skills for today, because now the competition is very high, and then the spaces are very limited. So that means for us to reach that level, we need to first of all consolidate our skills. Let me say, in terms of writing, sometimes we don't mention it very clearly that this is actually what I have in me. Remember, there is what we call simple drama. Simple drama. There are those who do drama very best. There are messages that when they go through drama, they are very best. And then when they come to talk about it, they will not bring it out. So they may think like that is not what they want, but that is what is needed now. Ourselves, we need a high impact a person. What do you have? What skills do you have that brings out what is required of the project? What is required of the position? What is that skill that you have? Bring it out. That is exactly what we want. Sometimes, things to do with education and all that, like you said before, of course it is good for an advantage to tell us that at least you have a knowledge, but there are other practical skills that may not even require you to have, like a doctorate, may not have you to have masters, you have them. So those kind of skills, like what I'm saying, you trade on them. You trade on what you can do best. Forget about saying, I don't have a paper, I don't have this, I don't have that, but you trade on exactly what you know best in this current situation. So.
One of the thing that will stand out for you to secure your dream job is, of course, how you package your CV. And I've interacted with some of the youth in this country. They are saying nowadays it doesn't matter how you package your CV, the qualification you have, the skills, but it's all about connection. And at the same time, whether you have uncle or auntie who will back you up. What's your take on that?
Great. Yeah, it's like we said, the challenges are there. But one thing they may need to take it. We have some spaces where they can enjoy. One of them is volunteering. Volunteering is the easy way to lead you to where you want. Number two is internship. If you're given the chance to be an intern, please do it professionally. There you will go. And then those who apply, they apply formally because advertisement has been made that they need people. You need to know that the competition is very high. Like I said, the number of opportunities are very limited, and the number of people who the demand is very high. So sometimes it becomes like they missed it. There is what we call nepotism. There's favoritism. There's what. But sometimes, like I say, even in your CV, that skill you have, that outstanding skill, it must come out very clearly. If you only say, okay, I was a project manager for GVV in let me say in space, and then I have done training, I have done this. Of course, those are the things that needs to be done in the project. But what happened after that? What have you changed? Is what you need to bring out in your CV. What have you changed? Not what you have done. Those are the contributions you made. But has the situation changed through your involvement? Have you changed the narrative of the situation in your involvement? So those are the achievements we want you to bring them on. That the ones that the person will be looking at. Because if it comes like, I have done this, there are many of us who have done many things. But what is the outcome? You, instead of talking about what you have done, talk about the outcome of your work. Tell us what you have, because we call ourselves change makers. What change have you brought is what it needs to appear in your CV, and even in your cover letter. Let that one comes the first impression. Like if you are given an award for being the best journalist, you have been given an award for being the best humanitarian. You can even you have the skills to cross even the two border side. You can go there and deliver life-saving services to the people, and you are awarded. Those are the things you will say, I am an award winner of a church situation. That is very impressive. So someone will say that someone at least has done something. But you are hiding that big achievement, and you say, I had been delivering life-saving services to church community. But what happened? So it's what I'm looking at. And then there you will stand out a very strong applicant and very favorable candidate for the position.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, how should really someone prepare for an interview? And this is, of course, part of also impression, which is needed at the workplace. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So preparation for interview is somehow very complicated and very interesting at some point. We have people, like I said before, that they can talk. They can talk, but they cannot write well, but they can talk. And then we have people who can write very well and they cannot talk. These are the things that if you go for interview, first of all, assess your level of interaction. Put that one very important. Because once you're already selected, sometimes you have done the written interview, now you're going for oral interview, face to face. That means you must be able to remove those kind of fears that you have out. And then the second one, which is the one we always talked about in the alignment of your CV, you must be able to understand what you put in your CV. Because questionnaire, all those interviewers will be referring to your CV here and there. They may always be referring there. And then number two, they are what they call behavioral kind of questions. Following what you have done. Questions that refer to your ability to handle things. Those ones will come out. So put yourself in that shoe of what you had been doing before. How had it been? Like, let's say, for those who do projects, there's what we call project management book of knowledge, which describe the process of the project from the initiation up to the end. All those steps, you follow them. They'll be asking, from this step what happened, from this step what will happen. So when you go there, and then you must be very familiar with what is there. And then also we look at the Prince 2, of about situation that come along. So prepare yourself along that if you're going for an interview. Those things give you a lot of energy if you know them. And it also some tools. We, like I said before, we are in the knowledge of evolution of digital world, and the dynamics of working tools have already also changed. By then we can even write a report in our hand with our pen and paper is done. But these days, like even the finances we can write, but these are very QuickBooks. We're using like a project software, something like that. So we have them very many. Put yourself there. Know how you achieve the project implementation, the previous projects you did. How did you win them? How did you succeed them? So use tools that you worked with them that made you reach that extent. And then they have scenario questions like, in a situation where things were very tough and you're able to succeed, they're always there. Those kind of scenario questions. They give you what happened in a difficult moment where we think it is not possible to happen, but you made it happen. How did you make it happen? So those kind of questions will always come. So as you go and trying to fight for your position in the interview, try to put those in your mind. So it like I said, what have you changed? It really comes back to what have you been doing, your achievements and how you achieve them. Package them very well. Those are the questions that will come always along in the interview questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience, and that of course take us to what are some of the common or frequently asked questions during interviews.
Great. I think there's one question that always people ask, and then I want to say here that there are situations that we go to YouTube, try to analyze, try to see how people ask questions, how questions are answered, and how they are. Please mind you that there's a difference. Like if you answer in the Western culture, like if you answer questions to like Africa or even Cuba level. So like there's this question, tell us about yourself. It's a very common question. Tell us about yourself. So when I was doing my interviews, supposed to be in Canadian embassy, for them, they don't like these things. Like I went to school, I started my school in this village, and then from that village to this center. From here, I went to UK, to US. For them, they don't need that. If they say, tell us about yourself, you give them your name, and then from there, your background, and then your knowledge, the skills, the experience, the experts you are going to bring that they are going to benefit. Is they ask you, what do you have? That's what they tell us about yourself. What is in you? But here is very different, and this is what I want us to take, because many people have lost their jobs because of that. So when they say tell us about yourself, for them they want to tell them about your education background, not your family background. Don't make a mistake of giving your family background, even your marriage status, your political status, and all that. You don't need to mention that one. So what you need to mention is your education background. How far have you gone with school? What medals have you won? Which books have you written? What have you done? And then from there, if it comes to like NGO work that you have done, and then from there you'll be bringing your background. You might have worked for several organizations, but sometimes if you work with 10 of them, does not need you to mention all 10 of them. You mention those ones that are relevant to the job that you are interviewed for. That is what matters. Because I know during our school time, or even when we came from school, we are dynamic. Someone wants someone urgent promotion, like for during the corona time you're there, for cholera you're there, for whatever you're there, because that time you're looking for living, you want to get something for yourself. But it's after that you're doing a professional job, and you have done a professional job, even if it is like one project that you have done, and the project that they want you to do is actually exactly what you have done. You can even talk about that one only. It's very good. You bring your school background and what you have done, and you bring that specific thing that you have done, and bring the success stories from there, then you're done. Instead of you mixing this one here and this one there, now where can we gauge you? We will not find out. So you need to be straightforward and tell us that what fits that job position, mention that one and talk about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Then another one, how best should someone, respond to some of these questions? For instance, how much do you want the organization to pay you?
Good. These questions, that's why we say read carefully the call for application. Where possible, even go to their website, go deep to them, understand them, know them, and then also know your worth. The knowledge is yours. In the procurement, they say we are not. If I'm buying a computer, I'm not buying the beauty of the computer, but I'm buying what the computer will do for me. That's the service they're buying. So if you want to go and work with it, they're talking about your skills. You know how much skills you have with your experts that you're going to bring. If they ask you how much should we pay you, you must be having a range. Even before that, when you're shortlisted, trying to look around. How much do people pay, let's say, project officers? How much do people pay field officers? How much people say finance officers, like that? And then we look at locations. Because the payment from like in Cuba will not be the same like when you are down the field. You know, there's some risk areas, the payment is different. There's what we call local recruitment, there's national recruitment, and the international recruitment. Know your level. At what level are you recruited under? And then from there you'll be able to know how much money you'll ask. Like if you're recruited as a national and you're like a project officer, you can even say I need $1,000, or you can say I need $800. And then of course the money is there, but they're looking at you yourself. How do you value yourself? So they're looking at that. So understand where you're going to be posted and what is the call talking about. Is it talking about local recruitment or national recruitment or international recruitment? Then from there you'll be able to gauge how much will be paid.
And that's where, differences always come. Others are saying just leave it blank to the organization, and that alone will give the impression that this person is really desperate. And others are saying it's good to mention a figure to know that you are capable of, at least you know what you are doing. What's your take on the two, mentioning figure and leaving it blank?
Leaving it blank is giving an advantage for your exploitation. Even if your money account the project design is supposed to be there, say even if it is $2,000, if you said you leave it blank, they may say you'll be paid $800. And then they may use that figure there and your money will be going for some. They will be exploiting you for what is not supposed to be like that. Like that's why I'm saying, if you're very sure of that, please, preparation for interviews, like I'm talking about oral interviews, if you have gone for that. Because sometimes in the written interview, it rarely comes. But in the oral interviews, it is always the last question, actually, in most cases. So make sure that you have a gauge. Give them a gauge. They will think about it. Because some of these things are negotiable. If their money, if you ask for 1,000 and their money is 800 or 900, they will come to you that, okay, you mentioned for this, but our money is this. They may say, okay, you said about this and our money is this level. Then there is always a point you are going to agree. Because if you start out to be the best candidate, they are going to send for you a not signed contract for you to read through and sign. That's the time you'll even have time to negotiate with them. Last time I said like this, and you'll have to come into a point. But leaving it blank, I think I don't encourage that. It's good to put your gauge. That tells you that you also value yourself, and giving yourself to someone to decide for you what is good for you. Yeah.
Via our Facebook page, we have Ding Angwi Padiaki saying, what really makes a CV rejected?
Yeah, what makes CV rejected is like us say reading through the requirements and then putting into your CV. Like you might have worked for like 3 or 4 or 5 organizations in different projects, but this one is calling for particular thing, and you want to bring all those different things, you put them here. So that make your project, making your CV disorganized. They don't know who to choose. They don't know which one they can go with, which experience do they value in you. Because there's need, there's something they want. That's why they need your CV. That means if you want your CV to stand out, if they say, for example, if they need someone like a finance officer, like a finance manager, you bring your experience along that line. For finance, it's very straightforward. Let me bring something outside finance. Let me say like a project person. They need a project to work on say election. Then you're bringing your CV to have done something very different, not relating to governance, not relating to actually peace building. It's very different, very different. Your CV is very rich, it's okay, but it's not matching to what they want. So until you make it that it really meets what is there, then it will stand out. Of course, you need to know that you're not alone. That is what must be in the back of your mind, especially here in Cuba. One person will take more than 100 applications for one position, one post. So then, how will yours come out? Is what matters. Thank you.
Now we have got a ping via our Facebook page. To him, is so much convinced that he has the skills, the knowledge, and the qualification, but he still fails. Where's the problem?
Good. The problem here is he's convinced he's having the skills, he's having the knowledge, but I will ask a question: where is he? The problem is also location. These are minor things that people don't take care of. Location. Where are you? Like, let us not shy out. Like, let us take this time of the crisis. Let us take this time of ethnic crisis, for example. You want to take someone, let me be honest, a Dinka, you want to take a Dinka to go and work in the other side. I think even the person will not allow you, because the person will not go, honestly. Will not. Let us say this, like the IO, someone is going to work this side, this one is going to work at this side. Especially the humanitarian workers, because for them, they go any side. We don't want to risk life. We need to take you to where you are safe. You must be qualified, you must be okay, but the location will restrict you where you're supposed to be posted, will restrict you. Number two, language. The language. You might have the knowledge, must have the skill, but the places where we are taking you, like say I'm bringing someone from Western Equatoria, and I want this person to work in deep village in Kajokeji. There are people even don't know Arabic, they even don't know English. And then you are very good, but you may need to have like interpreter. So the interpreter needs to be paid an extra money to employ an interpreter. So now that is a double cost. Much as you may have the skill, then you will not go there because of only that language difference. It will not be possible. So sometimes we did not get positions because of that. Because like if it is community job, for example, let us leave alone this technical work where you stay in the office and keep writing, and then you write reports. Especially, let's say you are in a field officer. Field officers, you stay with the community, honestly. You stay with them, you work with them, you always with them. That means it must be someone who is very familiar with the location, familiar with the knowledge, with actually the culture of the people, and then there you will be able to get results. But if you take someone who is going there for the first time, does not know the language, having no knowledge of the place, and then it is going to give the organization an extra cost. So which sometimes with us who are always recalling money from donors, it will not be possible, especially for local organizations. It will not be possible. So you might be qualified, and those few conditions might disqualify you. But it doesn't mean you don't know how to do the thing. But because of those small things, it can make you not to take the job.
Second last question before we head out for that break. One, let's give us an example of that. A presentation which is acceptable at your work end as one of the key elements considered to do the way someone you would really want as the executive director of his space to present himself or herself professionally. What are some of those things?
Yeah, if you want to present yourself to me professionally, I think, like we said, the first interaction that we may have, like face-to-face like this, is not enough. Like I said, we have what we call we have behavioral interview questions. If someone is presenting to you that he can do it, like if someone can be able to answer a question like, tell us about yourself, your knowledge, your expertise, able to speak it, and you, because as it speaks, you're having the CV like this. You follow whether what he's saying is correct or is not correct, and then of course, if it is a project based, you'll be telling him to describe how the project framework comes about, and also you go back to history, what he has done, the background. In the background, you ask questions that you know about what he puts in the CV. There are those who would even have, by the way, there are those who spoil their Facebook pages by doing a lot of nonsense. But sometimes we go there.
What are those nonsense, for example?
Like first thing, what do I say? But of course, they say this is my Facebook page. They say some of us will be like user on Facebook, but outside we're useful. It's not like that. If I'm a professional, like here I'm in iRadio today discussing about this very important topic, I may take one of my photos of this discussion and put on my timeline. It is also there. Someone will come and read that, oh, this guy has been doing this and all that. So people will be seeing you from there. You have done this and that. But now, if you post things like nasty things, beeps all the time, you are very contradictory there. People also study your life, because for you to be an executive director, you must have a very good background, socially, professional-wise, and even social-wise. Because when I do wrong things outside and I come here, I do good, at the end of the day, I want to go and meet people who had been together, and then who will accept you? They say, this guy, this one here, he's just like that. So then we need to check you properly, so that when you come in, they may not say this guy is already there. No, it would not be like. You must be a very presentable. One of the things is also, it's very simple, but it's very useful. If you go to an interview, you dress well, look presentable, and if necessary, even organize your hair. Go to the salon and put yourself correct. Then you go for the interview. You must be looking good. Very important.
All right. Yeah. Dear listener, if in case you have just joined us, you are listening to the Sundown Show on iRadio. And at this particular moment, we are taking a look at that Zone 72 Youth Program. And in this program, we are talking about that interview preparation and job application. Let's have a quick break, and when we come back, we shall be giving you that platform on 0911-022-986-986.
هل انت شاب وبتفتش عن برنامج تعليمي؟ زون 72 برنامج خاص لك انت، بيتم فيه مناقشة كتير من المواضيع اللي بخصك، وفيه انت ممكن كمان تعبر عن رايك وتتواصل مع شباب بنفس تفكيرك. زون 72 بيجيكم في كل يوم السبت من الساعة 4 مساء للساعة 5 مساء على الهواء وعلى الإنترنت، فقط على أي راديو. عينك على جنوب السودان.
Welcome back from the break. At this time, pick that cell phone and dial our studio line 0911-022-986-986. The first caller, iRadio. iRadio.
Yes. Hi.
iRadio. iRadio. Arja tani fi 09 wide wallet nini 986 zena guide bi aino fi mujaisad bita shokol. iRadio.
Hello?
Ayua.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
You're speaking to Charles.
Charles, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Yambio.
What's your question to my guest?
Yeah, I've been following this program, and I have a scenario whereby I happen to apply for a job. Then in that job, in that interview, we are 16 shortlisted.
15?
16, yeah.
16, okay.
And out of 16, after returning interview, then we were shortlisted 6 of us for oral. The six of us who went for the oral, after finishing the interview, we we thought that maybe they will pick one of us. We could keep on asking because we share our number after the oral interview. We keep on asking ourselves when we talk to one another that who they have picked among us. Up to date, and the job is going on. So it's such a challenge. How do they talk or how they address that? That's what I would like to ask. They pick someone outside from us who sat for the oral, the 6 of us.
Okay, I got you right. Thank you, Charles. Over to you. That's Noel. What's your take on that?
Yeah, thank you, Charles, for this scenario that you've given us. They were shortlisted, 16 of them. At the end of the day, 6 of them were taken for the oral interview. And at the end of it, all of them were not picked, and another candidate emerged from outside and being put to be the successful candidate. They are what we call meeting standard. Like if you go for election, they say it's 50 plus 1. I think the standard is you must be like 50 plus 1. Maybe all of them might have not met. They might have not gotten the percentage they wanted. If they say at least the winner must have 50% of the marks, and if all of them, because we have not seen the results, whether they are already whether they have all passed above 50 or they have all failed below 50. So that is where there is no justification now. So if it could be that they might have all come below 50, and then the organization should re-advertise, that becomes logical. The organization should re-advertise. This happens with the, I think this happens with the UNDP several times, even UNOPS. When they advertise, they interview you, they didn't get the person they want, they re-advertise again. And then they may say those who have applied should not apply again. So they may need now new people. So if it is in the case that they all of them did not qualify, the organization is supposed to re-advertise by law. It's supposed to be like that. And then if there's no re-advertisement and only you get candidates in that place, and then I think that is not correct.
All right.
I will just say like that.
Via our Facebook page, Victor Kenyi saying, let's take a situation where you would be asked what's your weaknesses, and in such a situation, how best can you respond?
Yeah, what is your weakness? Yes, it's very important that you tell them your weakness, but now you also need to be very careful enough to not to dilute the strength you have given before. If you have given your strength before and they are asking what is your weakness must not be linked to your strength that you had before. Your weakness must be in something else. For example, if you're very good, like in which one should I say? If it is NFI, non-food items distribution, you're very good in that. And then they need someone who will do NFI. You are very good in the distribution. But when it comes to issues with responding to say do no harm, the kind of designing which is not yours, that designing is not yours. For you only need to go and do the distribution. That is what you are an expert in. So if the issue is the design, tell them that for you yours is to do this. That's why your expertise fall in. But when something is at that level, that one you can now refer. Because there are things that we don't answer everything in life. There are those that we refer, those who can do it. So there you will say, now this one you can refer. Like there are people who are short-tempered, for example, but you're very good, but you're very short-tempered. Now be very specific. You are short-tempered in what? You are short-tempered to an extent of fighting, or you are short-tempered to an extent of leaving the work, or what are you short-tempered at is what you can just bring that thing. But now, will your weakness affect your performance? Will your weakness affect the project performance? Is what matters now. Because if it is minor things, it doesn't matter. Like for me, if I am on a discussion like this, when something comes and you disrupt, you come to me and say, no, this thing is not like this, it's supposed to be like this way, then I may need to take a leave. I may not need to continue. Because when I continue, I will do wrong. That is my weakness. My weakness is if I've done something wrong, come to me in a very better way that tell me that, my friend, it's not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be A, B, C. What you have done like this is correct, but this one is wrong. If you come to me like that, we will continue. But if you come and shout at me, there are people who are not shouted at. So that's the difference. So now find a way of course you might have your weakness, and you must find a way of mitigating it. So don't mention that this is my weakness and you stop there. Say, like, for me, if I make an error and you shout at me, I may fall off. But if I make an error, you come and tell me this is what not is supposed to be done, tell me calmly, I will now readjust and will continue working. So like that. So I mention your weakness and give a strategy on how you will mitigate that weakness. Yeah.
All right. Let's keep the conversation going. Our studio line remains the same. You can either visit our Facebook page and drop your question right there, or call us live on 0911-22-986-986 as well. We shall give you that platform to ask. That's our guest in the studio right here, Noel Kainga, who is the Executive Director of Space, and we are talking about that interview preparation and job application. I read you.
Yes, hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the boy Manasi.
Manas, where are you calling from?
Calling from Yambio.
Good to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, I do agree with some of the conditions, like the language barriers, like the dressing code. But sometimes you may have somebody who is qualified, but when it reaches like the panel's recommendations, some people that have their own views of giving their recommendations. So in that case, what will be the solution for the particular organization to rule out that this person is qualified? Like for me, yes, I sat one day with my colleague in Nuba, in Nuba Mountain. So I did not know Nuba, so I have the right to decline, because they told me, yes, you don't know how to speak Nuba, and then you will not qualify. Maybe, but you are qualified to work anywhere. That is good. Like the dressing code is good. But sometimes you may see that the same people who qualified, but the recommendation sometimes will come just from the panel. It's not the organization. If you have like 3, 4, then maybe the RRC involved in that particular arrangement, then the panel will say, no, this person is good and that one is not good. What is the answer from the organization?
Thank you. Over to you, Nawal.
Thank you very much. Actually, in recommending a final candidate where the RRC is involved and the panel of the interview, which is the organization itself, is being involved, is very good, is very open, and we appreciate when it has gone to that level. But I have issue with the RRC sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. Does the person who was coming to attend the interviews or be part of the interview understand the requirement? Because they may be talking at their own view. Like if you're someone who is within the area, they'll be, they always recommend someone who is very known to them, or someone who is to them is very familiar. And if you're some of my colleagues missed jobs. I have to cut this answer so then give the example. We were invited to go for interview in Kajokeji, and then that guy, of course, is a person from there, but he stays here in Juba, but he qualified. So when they involved the RRC said, no, this guy is not staying here, but we need someone who is with him. But the requirements and the need of that person is where this person who goes here is the one having. So at the end of the day, RRC recommended that they need that person who is there. So then, of course, this person has to come back. So it depends on whether the person, the involvement of the RRC is not motivated. So if it is a neutral body that is supposed going to witness, so that it is transparent, it is clear, it is good. The reason why we need the RRC to go there sometimes is for them to see how the process are done. Are we really doing the right work? Are we following the recruitment law or the recruitment procedures? And we take them to witness and see and bless the process. But when it comes to recommendation, it is purely the organizations who understand actually who they want, what kind of skills they needed. So like that. So that's why I'm saying at some point, the RRC might have recommended someone that is good for them, but will not be good for the organization. So a situation like that will come. Number two, there is what we call a reference check. I don't know if you have a reference in your CV. Reference check. You must be good because reference check is normally done after the interviews. That's the last thing. They will go and check whether this person has no criminal records, whether this person has no much weakness and so forth and so forth. That is why if you want to put someone to be your referee or your reference in your CV, please put someone who also understands you, so that when he is asked about you, he will actually give all about you. So sometimes the panel will complete their work and then they go and make a check. When the referee check did not give a correct information about you, and then even if you qualify, you will be disqualified if you got the wrong answers from the recommendation from the referees. So that's what I can give. Thank you.
I hope, Manas, your question has been answered right here. Still, we are giving chance to one more lucky call, and then we call it a show. 0911 986 What's your question, particularly on that interview preparation and job application? Mr. Noel is right here to help you and understand that better and overcome even some of the challenges you have been facing. And we have a couple of that writers on our Facebook page. They are so much convinced, Mr. Noel, that even if you have the skills, the knowledge and qualification, but still it's all about connection. Is that really true?
Yes. That will be true to some extent. And that's why I'm saying there's what we call, I mentioned at the beginning, is human capital, who are the people you are associating with helping you or they are not. Because like I said, being a volunteer is an opportunity. There are many people who miss their jobs because they were interviewed together. They applied together with the volunteers of that specific organization. And those volunteers must have done particular work, but there is no way they can. The HR manual will not allow them just to be put in like that, but they must come through the process. They may apply. But I've been working with them all the time, but they are volunteers. But because their HR guidelines will not allow that someone can volunteer and become a staff automatically, it is not like that until he applies. So and then if that person has been their volunteer and you're competing with him, your chances of winning you must be extra high, because that person is there with them or they already know him. So that person will take it. Whether you qualify or how it is, how the situation is, that person will take it. Number two, I said the internship. The internship is one of the gateway also. So the same recruitment laws applies. If the recruitment laws say, like in the national organization, say if this person has demonstrated high quality of work and high professional standards in what he does, because you might be doing your internship and then the director will be struggling to write proposal here and there. By luck, you win a project, finding you as an intern. And it is actually in your line of profession. So then immediately, if the law does not allow him to be turned to be a staff immediately, and then he may be advised to apply, you apply together with them, and he is there.
All right.
So you're comparing with an inside. So that's why sometimes it's very
difficult.
tricky. Yeah,
all right.
Thank you.
Last caller for now. Hey, radio. Hey, radio.
Yes.
Yes. Hello. نعم صوتك تعرف صوت شوية كده. Yes, what's your name? Jacob, yes. What's your take, Jacob?
Yes.
Wow. We can't really get you clear, Jacob. Now, lastly, Mr. Noel, how best can that's a new employee conduct him or herself in a new institution with peers and subordinates and even bosses, plus your final comment as we are coming to the end of our conversation.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been very good discussing with you. Let me answer this question that how do someone conduct himself as a new employee? Yeah. Take it in the back of your mind that when you sign the project, there is what they call a probation period. That is the test of what you lie or what you sincerely tell them during the interview. So that period is given to test you to do that. So if you're able to live up to your words, and then you are lucky. If you forge the CV, the documents, and when you're given the work, you will not make it, and then that is how it will end. Of course, the professional contact is that at your entrance, there's what you call induction. Of course, you'll be given the HR manual, you'll be given your code of conduct is going to be given to you, and all that will be done to all the inductions will be done to you. So what you do is to try as much as possible to do your professional job. Of course, what matters if you're still new, try not to work alone. Try to work with the staff available that you find them there. Of course, I know you will always not be the first person. There are people who are already there. Work with them, ask questions, and try to accept also corrections where they say it is not supposed to be like that. So that will make you reach to owning your job. Yeah.
Finally, your message.
Yeah. So finally, my message to you is, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say these things. Number one is the social capital. Please work hard to build your social capital. Get people who enrich you, and then meet friends. Don't be isolated. Meet friends, and these friends will help you, will train you, and will take you where you want to be. Take advantages of the volunteering and internship. These are very good entry points. Sometimes you get where you are. Sometimes you get knowledge, skills, and experience that will lead you to where you want. And of course, take learning serious. Be current. Be current. I am very surprised that one of the elder is more aware of the AI than myself. And I think that it should be us. It is our time that we are supposed to know this. But I found that actually they know it more than us. So at your free time, please make sure you learn. You learn every day. It's something new, go into it. If something new, meet your near friend, work with them, so that you are empowered. And then any opportunity that meet you, you go by.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noel Kaiga, Executive Director of Space, for sharing your experience with us. And then our, of course, sign language interpreter, Grace also. And remember, we have been talking about that interview preparation and job application. I've been your host, Madrama James, and this program is proudly brought to you by the Zone 72 program is in collaboration with the South Sudan Ministry of Health, South Sudan Nurses and Midwife Association, Shabab Le Shabab, Canadian Association of Midwives, and UNFPA. Thank you. Let's meet again next week. Bye-bye.
هل انت شاب وبتفتش عن